Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the AD's Corner. With us today, Coach Hutter for final time as we come down the final stretch. Coach, it's playoff time. I know you're excited. I know the ladies are excited. It's been such a interesting year, and I don't want this conversation to focus on COVID because we're playing, and we've gotten through the season, right? So the one thing I will start off with, if you're okay with it, is just how special has it been to get through such a unprecedented season?
I just talked about that with the presentation radio guy, David Tewksbury. Talked to Tewks. He asked kind of the same sort of question, and I said, well, every season and every team is special and unique in its own way. And you know, if you coach long enough, you have a lot of teams. They all have a special place in your heart. But this team has obviously gone through something that no other team has ever gone through before, and that's obviously the COVID situation that we have dealt with. And so when the year comes to an end, the regular season comes to an end, and you kind of just sit back a little bit and you start reminiscing about the season, you start thinking of all the things that we've been through. I would have to say that I'm as proud of this group as maybe any group that we've had come through here for a variety of different reasons. Number one is the COVID situation that we dealt with. Not only did we have two basically 20-day pauses in our program, one in October and one again in December. We had games that were canceled in October or November that we were not able to play for a variety of different reasons. Right. We had individual players that had to isolate for a variety of reasons as they were to test, and every team has gone through this, you know, and then it comes back negative, and then 2 days later they're back with the team. But that's a heightened sense of awareness for everybody, or nervousness in that moment. And so this group has dealt with an awful lot on the COVID side of it, so I'm really proud of them for sticking together the way they did. And they battled through that. We've talked about this. It's a very young team. We've only got a couple of kids that really saw any extensive playing time last year, basically in Jordan and Taylor Riley for the most part. So it was a whole new group of kids coming together, trying to learn how to play. You lose your best player, you know, a consensus All-American kid, player of the year in the first practice of the year. You know, that hurts. You have a really solid player that leaves at Christmas time and that was starting and contributing that doesn't come back. You lose your starting point guard for the last 3 games of the year, and you battled through that. And the kids have just kept coming back, and the resiliency of this group is probably one of the things I'm most proud of, and their connectivity, how much they've stayed together during the situation. So yeah, I'm really proud of what they've done so far. Hopefully we're not done.
Absolutely.
But I'm very proud of what they have done leading up to this point.
And Coach, it seems like, you know, you mentioned some different things, and it's, you know, a knockdown, right? And not even knockdown because the ladies and yourself, your staff do such a good job of just stepping back up, right? It's next person up. We're a team, and the chemistry that the ladies showed throughout the year was awesome. 13-7, 8-6 in the conference is nothing to sneeze at by any means, and you know, now it's go time, right? Throw away everything so far, so to speak, and everybody is fighting on the same page, trying to get a conference championship. You guys enter as a 4 seed, and we'll be hosting here tomorrow against Valley. How important is that? You know, home court advantage, so to speak. Hopefully, we'll have a good crowd, right? We have some good guidelines in place, but we'll be able to have some fans. How important is that as a young team, as you mentioned, get going in their first conference tournament together?
Well, it was a goal. A home playoff game is, I think, a goal of any team when you're having a conference tournament where the first round is at the higher seed. Your goal is to play at home.
Right.
In the past, this would have been the only home round games that would have went to neutral site after that, so it would have been very important to play at home when this all started. Now, obviously, it's changed, and the higher seed will host all the way through. But it was a goal of ours to get a first-round home playoff game. Obviously, you want to compete to win a regular season championship, or to maybe get 2 home playoff games would be nice. But the goal is to get 1. I mean, there are 4 teams playing at home and there are 4 teams playing on the road. And so we're fortunate to be one of the ones that's playing at home. And so, again, in a year that you were unsure what was going to happen and how it was going to go, and are we going to play tonight, are we not? Are we going to even practice today, or are we not?
Right.
To be able to battle through everything and come out as one of the top 4 teams in the league was a goal of ours and something that I'm really proud of. And then we've talked about this. I mean, granted, we're playing Valley, and the travel's not nearly as severe for them,
right,
as it would normally be. But traveling in our league is difficult in every sport that we have. One of the things that makes our league unique and difficult is the travel that the teams have to do between schools. So anytime you can not have to travel and you can play at home, obviously, I think is a major advantage for that team. So that's something hopefully we can use to our advantage tomorrow night.
Right. And coach, and tomorrow night, that obviously that's the game, right? I know as a coach and players, you don't look ahead or anything like that. Tomorrow night's game, it's going to be a huge game, good rivalry game with a lot at stake, obviously with Valley. But I want to ask you just a scenario, more for Comet fans to kind of understand that I think, and you will attest to this, I'm sure, that the conference is very strong in women's basketball. Let's say Dak State's not the champ, right? And let's say it is somebody else, okay? Do you think we're a two-bid league if that happens? Or do you think, it'll just be the conference champion?
No, we're a one-bid league if Dakota State wins the conference tournament.
Okay, okay.
I do believe that Dave and his crew have earned an at-large bid. So I would like to think that if somebody else were to come through and beat them somehow, some way, and we have a not regular season champion win the conference tournament, I would like to think that they've done enough body of work throughout the year to earn an at-large. They're number 2 in the ARC ranking behind Morningside, who they played very tough earlier in the year.
Gotcha.
Their strength of schedule, I believe, is top 20 in the country.
Okay.
So I'd like to think that they've done enough to earn an at-large if they were not able to win the conference tournament.
Good. I ask that because usually when I'm watching, I remember this past few years, people are asking me, what do we got to do to get in, right? Not to rehash, but last year we were kind of on the bubble and things like that, so that's good for everybody to know.
Yep.
Appreciate you letting us know that. Coach, as you enter tomorrow night, right, obviously we've gotten familiar with a lot of great names that have led the charge of this team. What's it going to take? What's it going to take to win that quarterfinal game tomorrow night and move on, hopefully, to Thursday?
We got to score one more point. Than they
Right.
Easier said than done.
Yep.
No, there's a lot of things we know. This time we were just talking to a few of my our players in my office before I came over here, and just talking about how everybody's a little nicked up this time of the year.
Yeah.
Nobody's 100% at this time of the year, and so you're going to have to find a way to toughen through a few things. Officials usually let you play a little bit more in playoff time. The game's going to probably be a little bit more physical, which could make it a war. We're going to have to do what we've done all year. We've been one of the top defensive teams in the league the entire year. It's what we kind of hang our hat on, and we're going to have to defend first and foremost. We're going to have to be able to contest shots. We're going to have to make them shoot tough twos. We're going to have to make sure we rebound and limit them to one opportunity at that end of the floor, and got to be really, really solid defensively. I mean, there's no question about it. And then offensively, a few different things. We've played a little bit better. I mean, this team has been a little offensively challenged all year, but we've scored 70 points in the last 2 games, so that's kind of like we're celebrating over there because we've put 70 on the board 2 straight games. We just haven't shot it all that well. Mm-hmm. I do think this is a very good offensive team. We just haven't shot it very well the last month of the year or so. But we're going to have to be able to do the little things like taking care of the ball, making sure that shot selection is something we talk a lot about, making sure shot selection is a real high priority for us. We don't want a good shot, we want a great shot.
Right.
And so we'll talk a lot about that. So those little things will come into play. You're playing the team for the 3rd time in our league, and basically the 3rd time for us since, January 19th or whatever it is.
Right.
They know each other.
Yeah,
The players know each other, the coaches know each other. Vanessa does a great job with their program over there. And I mean, honestly, for what they've gone through and what they've dealt with the injuries and the COVID as well, what Vanessa has done with that group is probably just as proud of her group, I'm imagine, as I am of our group.
Right.
They've battled through a lot.
Yeah.
And so the coaches know each other. The players know each other. They know the system. We're going to call it a play, and they're probably going to tell us where to go because they know what's coming, just like we will when they do. So it really comes down to, when you have that familiarity with each other, it's who can just basically execute their game plan the best and play with the most discipline.
Right.
And hopefully we're able to do that tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, it's an exciting time of year. Selfishly, any playoffs for any of our teams is my favorite time of year, but I also know, like I said, what the ladies have been through, what you and your staff have been through. So for starters, congratulations on a heck of a regular season and able to muster through to get to this point. And good luck, right? We got Tuesday, and then hopefully we're playing a little later in the week, Thursday.
Let's hope so.
Dare I say even Saturday.
Well, let's hope so.
We'll see what happens, but best of luck to you and the ladies.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to say to Comet Nation as you enter? Louis Lee going to be packed tomorrow night, 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. Both hosting first round game, quarterfinal North Star tournament action. Anything you want to add, Coach?
No, just hope you can come out and support the ladies. They've done a great job this year competing and representing Mayville State and the athletic department on a high level. And I just hope one more time we can come out and support us, and the men. I mean, don't forget the men play after us, and they've had an unbelievable year as well with Coach Ty and what they've done. So be a great chance to come out one more time and see the women and the men compete at home together on the same night one more time. Hope you can come out and join us.
Absolutely. Please do so, and go Comets. Hope to see you tomorrow night.